My name is Robert McLeod, known to most of my friends, colleagues, and brothers as Robbie McLeod. I became a Mason in 1983. I was initiated into Temple Lodge number 665 on the Grand Registry of Canada, the Grand Lodge of Canada in the province of Ontario. I was initiated on the 6th of September 1983, raised on the 18th of January 1984 in Mississippi Lodge 146, I think it is, which is in the small town of Almont, about a half an hour west of Ottawa. I happen to live in that little village of Almont, and in order for me to join Temple Lodge, dispensation from the Grand Master was required, and then dispensation for me to be raised by my neighbors and friends in the lodge. I knew I was going to be moving away, so and if I ever came back, I would be living in Ottawa as opposed to up the Ottawa Valley. It was the reason I joined Temple Lodge 665. Then in April of 1984, I was raised to the sublime degree by the RCMP degree team out of headquarters. There were a number of RCMP degree teams in various provinces across the country. This one out of RCMP headquarters was led by Chief Superintendent Don Mountie, who later became the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Canada in the province of Ontario. He just recently passed away. It was a very interesting process for me, but a couple of years later, 1987, I got transferred to Calgary, Alberta. And when I arrived in Calgary, which was the precursor to the '88 Winter Olympics, that was the reason I was transferred there. I ran into an immigration officer as part of my duties, and I ended up affiliating with his lodge, which was Canada Lodge 125 in the Grand Lodge of Alberta. I stayed a member there until I think about 1991, but in '89 I was transferred back to Ottawa, and so it was back to my mother lodge, where I have been a continuous member since 1983. I worked my way through the chairs in the 1990s and was elected master in June of 1998. As within 2 weeks of being installed, I was transferred again to Edmonton, Alberta. But the brethren in that lodge asked if it would be possible for me to make the odd trip back, and I said I would, so they said, we will help you through so you can remain the master. I did fly back 10 times. I never missed a meeting. I did happen to wangle a couple of work trips. And the rest of the times you can tell it wasn't like today. I could fly for $249, return from Edmonton, come down in the morning, go to lodge, stay at my sister's house at night, fly back, and be at work at noon the next day in Alberta. So my bosses didn't know I had abandoned my post in Alberta, and the members of the lodge thought I must have just lived around there. So, although the night before the meeting was a regular Committee of General Purposes meeting for the lodge, all Master Masons and past Masters were invited to attend, and the current Master. I never did attend one of those. Some of the past Masters covered for me there and helped me out. So I had a great time as the Master of Temple Lodge. I came back to Ottawa in 2000, again on another transfer back, and my job was 18 hours a day. If you'll recall, September 11th, 2001, we were into a bit of a turmoil here in North America after the World Trade Center plane crashes and collapse. And I was heavily involved in the counterterrorism aspect of my job, and was fully occupied for a 5-year period after that until I retired. I never had more than 1 week's holidays in a year, so I didn't get to lodge much. Occasionally, but I retired. I actually left Ottawa in 2006, retiring in 2007, and I took a little respite from masonry, but my neighbor 2 houses away was a member of Campbellton Lodge, and he regularly tried to talk me into come to lodge. I attended about 4 or 5 meetings, and I was informed by the secretary as he handed me a form for affiliation that I wasn't going to be allowed to come anymore for free, that I had to start paying my dues. So I did, and I affiliated in 2010. 2011, the new master was left with a junior warden who didn't want to go to the senior warden's chair, so he asked if I would jump in as the senior warden, which I did, much to my chagrin, because as similar and familiar as the rituals of the 2 different jurisdictions are, it was a lot of work for me, because in the middle of every piece of ritual I was trying to memorize, I would revert to the Ontario version of it, which pleased no one, particularly me, but some of the older members of Campbellton Lodge didn't believe there was any such thing as another ritual other than theirs. So it took me a good year of hard work to get caught up, and I took the master's chair after that. So I had a good year as master here with a lot of support from this lodge, and because this is my hometown, I knew most members of the lodge, and on the list of past members of the lodge, which hangs in the anteroom, are most of my uncles and a few other relatives on my mother's side of the family. So in 2015, after my time as master here, I was appointed district deputy by Most Worshipful Brother Clyde Town, and had a great 2 years as the district deputy grand master of District 3. It was a real pleasure to travel back and forth, although the closing of Miramichi Lodge, which I believe was 27 was the number of it. No, that's St. John. Anyway, Miramichi Lodge, it amalgamated with Northumberland Lodge number 17, which was a troublesome time for some people. They had a hard time adjusting to the fact that they couldn't take the name of their lodge to the new lodge, and because it had several years seniority, it had to revert to the senior lodge. But that was not the worst of what happened. It was all turned out to be fine, and Northumberland Lodge is prospering in Miramichi right now. I traveled around the province a lot with Most Worshipful Brother Town, and became good friends with he and the rest of his suite. And after my period as a district deputy was up, I remained in contact with them, and we traveled a bit together around the jurisdiction. All the time talking about what we would like to do in attempting to start a lodge of our own that would do masonry perhaps in a more traditional way, more 1700s or late 18th century, as opposed to the way Masonry is practiced today. And as a result, I became a charter member of a lodge formed originally in Dorchester. It's called Templum Phoenix Lodge number 57, and we were consecrated in 2018 after a year of operating under dispensation. A few years later, when the lodge in Dorchester went dark, we, Templum Phoenix, shopped around and found that we could rent space in the lodge in Fredericton, Hiram number 6 lodge. So we moved there and have been progressing along there. So I currently am a member of that lodge. I'm the immediate past master for another month. We only meet 4 times a year plus once for our installation in August. We meet September, November, March, and June. And the emphasis is on study and trying to broaden our knowledge of the esoteric side of Freemasonry. It's a lot of fun, and we have some people who come from as far away as Montreal for our regular meetings, and we even had a charter member from New Hampshire, but age and several other issues came into play, and he recently had to take a demit from Templum Phoenix Lodge number 57. I continue to love Masonry. I continue to love coming to the meetings. In this lodge, Hamilton Lodge number 32, I am the musician. I am the chaplain. I am not on the building committee anymore, but I have been. I find a full bit of work. I do lectures in the second degree, the senior deacon's lecture. I do the raising of the candidate in the Master Mason's degree, because it seems that the people that are going through the chairs these days don't or can't learn a sufficient amount of ritual to be able to stand up and make 20-minute speeches or something. My wife would say that it's pretty easy for me to do that, so she believes I'm perpetually talking. So I still enjoy, I have a lot of fun. I cook all the meals at this lodge. I truly enjoy being involved in it. I enjoy traveling, but personal circumstances in the past number of years has limited that for me. But I still make it to Grand Lodge, and I still make it down to Fredericton for my other lodge. So, and I maintain my membership in Temple Lodge 665 in Ottawa, primarily because it's suffering, like most lodges in the fraternity are, and they're down to, I think, 27 dues-paying members, and even though the dues are prohibitively expensive, I continue to pay because I don't want to see them go dark because of my leaving. I wouldn't want to be the straw that broke the camel's back. In any event, that's about it. Oh yes, finishing up, I did get elected the senior grand warden, or grand senior warden, back in 2017 to 19, and. I enjoyed my time at Grand Lodge. I had hoped to move on, but the circumstances were such that my traveling has been restricted. And hopefully I'm going to get to a point where I'll be able to hit the road again and get more involved in Grand Lodge. I enjoyed my time on the board and everything that's involved in Masonry. So I guess that's about it. There's not much to sum up. That's the story of my Masonic career. Thank you.